In the bustling heart of New York City, where the cacophony of honking taxis and hurried footsteps formed the city's relentless symphony, Emily Harper wiped down the sticky counter of Joe's Diner for the umpteenth time that evening. At 24, she was the epitome of quiet resilience, a shy waitress with a gentle smile that rarely reached her eyes, hidden behind oversized glasses and a ponytail that seemed to pull her back from the world. But tonight, as the door chimed with the arrival of an unexpected patron, Emily's life was about to intersect with destiny in a way that would ripple through hearts far beyond the diner's greasy booths. The man who entered was Alexander Voss, a tech billionaire whose face graced Forbes covers and whose empire spanned Silicon Valleys and stock exchanges. Dressed in a tailored suit that screamed power, he wasn't alone. Beside him shuffled his elderly mother, Clara Voss, her silver hair neatly pinned, her eyes sharp but distant. Clara had been deaf since a childhood illness, and though Alexander had poured millions into charities for the hearing impaired, nothing could bridge the silent chasm that sometimes yawned between them. He guided her to a corner booth, his jaw tight from a day of boardroom battles, oblivious to the waitress who approached with a menu clutched like a shield. Emily's hands trembled slightly as she set down the laminated menus. She had always been introverted, her voice a whisper in a world that demanded shouts. Growing up in a small Midwestern town, she learned American Sign Language, ASL, from her grandmother, who had lost her hearing in old age. It was a skill she rarely used now, tucked away like a forgotten heirloom. But when Clara looked up, her fingers fluttering in a hesitant greeting, signing for water and coffee, Emily's eyes widened. Without thinking, she signed back, her movements fluid and warm, of course, right away. Cream and sugar. Clara's face lit up like a sunrise over the prairie, her signs exploding with enthusiasm. You sign. Oh, bless you, dear. Most people just nod and guess. Alexander, catching the exchange from the corner of his eye, froze. He had interpreters on speed dial, but this unassuming waitress was conversing with his mother as if they were old friends. Emily blushed, her cheeks turning the color of the diner's cherry pie, but she continued, taking their orders in a mix of signs and soft-spoken words. As she walked away, Alexander watched her, a flicker of curiosity piercing his armored demeanor. The diner was unusually quiet that night, save for the sizzle of burgers on the grill and the occasional clink of cutlery. Emily returned with their meals, a hearty steak for Alexander and a simple salad for Clara. What started as polite service evolved into something magical. Clara, starved for genuine connection, signed animatedly about her life, the joys of raising Alexander, the loneliness after her husband's passing, the frustration of a world that spoke without listen. Emily listened, not just with her eyes, but with her heart, responding with stories of her own grandmother, the woman who taught her that silence could hold more words than speech ever could. Alexander sat there, his fork hovering mid-air, as he witnessed his mother come alive. Clara's laughter, silent but infectious, filled the booth. He hadn't seen her this engaged in years. A pang of guilt twisted in his chest, his wealth had bought her the best care, but not this simple, human bridge. As the conversation deepened, Emily shared how she moved to the city chasing dreams of becoming a teacher for the deaf, but financial woes had trapped her in this dead-end job. Dreams don't pay the rent, she signed with a wry smile, her voice barely audible. Unbeknownst to Emily, Alexander's mind was racing. He was no stranger to acts of philanthropy, but they were always calculated, tax-deductible gestures. This felt different, raw, unscripted. As Clara signed praise for Emily's kindness, calling her an angel in apron, Alexander felt an unexpected swell in his throat. He excused himself to the restroom, splashing water on his face, staring at his reflection. Who was he, really? A man who built empires but couldn't build a conversation with his own mother without help. When he returned, the diner had picked up a few more customers, a family of tourists, a lone trucker nursing coffee. Emily was clearing plates when Clara signed something that made her pause. My son is a good man, but he's forgotten how to feel. You remind him, I think. Emily glanced at Alexander, her shyness flaring, but she nodded politely. As they prepared to leave, Alexander slipped a generous tip under his napkin, far more than the bill warranted, but it felt insufficient. Outside, in the cool autumn air, Clara turned to him, her signs urgent. That girl, she's special. Hire her. Teach me more with her. The next day, Emily arrived at her shift, her mind replaying the previous night's warmth. Joe's Diner was her sanctuary and prison, a place where she blended into the background. But as she tied her apron, the door swung open with purpose. Alexander strode in, alone this time, his presence commanding the room. The other waitresses whispered, recognizing him from tabloids. He approached Emily directly, his voice steady but laced with vulnerability. My mother hasn't stopped talking about you. She wants you to be her personal companion, teach her, talk with her. I'll pay you triple what you make here. Please. Emily's heart pounded. This was surreal, a billionaire offering her a lifeline. She stammered, I'm just a waitress. I don't know if I can. But Alexander persisted, revealing a crack in his facade. Last night, I saw my mother happy in a way I haven't since I was a kid. You've got a gift, Emily. Don't waste it here. Overwhelmed, she agreed to a trial, her mind swirling with doubt and excitement. Little did she know, this was just the beginning of the unexpected turns. Weeks turned into months. Emily moved into the Voss family's sprawling Manhattan penthouse, her role evolving from companion to confidant. She taught Clara advanced ASL, shared books on deaf culture, and even organized outings to silent art exhibits. Clara blossomed, her confidence soaring. But the real transformation was in Alexander. At first, he observed from afar, buried in work. Then, one evening, he joined them for dinner. Emily patiently taught him basic signs, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry. His fingers were clumsy, his ego bruised, but Clara's beaming face urged him on. One unexpected turn came during a stormy night. Power outages plunged the city into darkness, and Clara, disoriented, signed frantically about old fears from her childhood. Emily calmed her with stories signed by flashlight, weaving tales of resilience. Alexander, witnessing this, felt a profound realization, his wealth insulated him from vulnerability, but Emily's quiet strength exposed it. He confessed later, in halting signs, I've been deaf too, in my heart. Ignoring what matters. The emotional climax built subtly, like a crescendo in a symphony. It was Clara's 75th birthday, a lavish affair at the penthouse with elite guests, CEOs, celebrities, philanthropists. Emily, feeling out of place in her simple dress, stuck to the shadows, ensuring Clara's needs were met. But Clara had a surprise. Midway through the evening, she stood, signing a speech that an interpreter voiced. My greatest gift isn't from my son's fortune, but from this young woman who heard me when no one else did. She pulled Emily forward, signing directly to her, you've given me back my voice. Tears welled in Emily's eyes as the room fell silent. Then Alexander stepped up, his voice breaking. Emily, you've not only signed to my mother, you've signed into our lives. He revealed his plan, a foundation in Clara's name, funding ASL education nationwide, with Emily as director. But the real bombshell? He had secretly paid off her student loans and set up a scholarship in her grandmother's name. Your kindness changed us. Let us change the world together. The room erupted in applause, but Alexander's eyes locked on Emily's, tears streaming down his face, a billionaire laid bare. Guests wiped their eyes, moved by the raw humanity. Emily, overwhelmed, signed back, kindness isn't a gift, it's a choice we all can make. In the aftermath, Emily's life transformed. She led the foundation, traveling the USA, inspiring classrooms fro.